Hello friends, my name is Nate, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my very first episode of Beat the TBR Backlist. This is kind of the introductory video, this is episode 0 technically, kind of discussing what Beat the TBR Backlist is, what I'm going to do about it, and what books are involved. So Beat the TBR Backlist is my personal own take on a very popular trend of read or unhaul, back a shelf it and scrap it, tackle my TBR, read to 0, that kind of thing. But I am going to be specifically concentrating on my physical TBR backlist, and for me these are books bought from 2023 and before. I have some books that are from 2023, so they're only going to be 3 years old this year, and I have some books that are like 20 years old. There are about in total 210 to 215 books, and I'm going to go through what they are in this video today. So this is going to be the physical TBR that will be getting read throughout this series of videos. This series of videos are going to be very similar in the vein that other people do. I'll be reading at least hopefully 3 books a video, and I will be reading them or DNFing them, keeping them or unhauling them. The way I pick these books are going to be varied, the kind of vlog themes are going to be varied, and I probably will give each book maybe 2 chances if I'm really not feeling it in that time, but for the most part I'm going to be pretty strict about it because these are the oldest books I have, and my intention is over the next 4 years I'm going to get through about 50 of these books so that by the time we hit 2030, this TBR will be at 0. And then I can kind of reboot this whole series again, but from 2024 and like up kind of thing. So that is the goal, that is the intention. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get on with the physical TBR. I'm just going to kind of share you their title. I won't get any information about the book. However, I would really appreciate it if you see a book on here that you really liked or really didn't like, if you could leave me a comment with that book's name, that would be really helpful. I'd love to do a vlog where I read viewers' recommendations or anti-recommendations. I think that would be quite fun. So if you could do that, I would really appreciate that. Obviously you don't have to, but yeah, if you can, if you see anything that you loved or hated, I'd love to know. And then yeah, would love to theme a vlog around that in the future. It took me about half an hour to pull them off my shelves, and now I'm going to go through them and have to put them straight back on. But this was the easiest way I thought of doing it. Without further ado, let's crack on. Witch King by Martha Wells, Bitten by Kelly Armstrong, Waterhouse Girl by Sue Hampton, The One Kingdom, The Shadow Road, and The Isle of Battle, all by Sean Russell. I've Got You Under My Skin by Mary Higgins Clark, Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, I Was Here by Gail Foreman, The BFG by Roald Dahl, Unearthly by Cynthia Hand, Queenie by Candice Carty-Williams, Verge by Nadia Attia, The Sun and the Star by Rick Riordan and Mark Oshiro, Murtagh by Christopher Paolini, Jacob's Colours by Lindsay Howden, Translove edited by Freya Benson, City of Nightmares by Rebecca Schaefer, Contender The Chosen by Taran Mataru, In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune, The Writing Retreat by Julie Bartz, How to Save a Life by Zara Zara, The Thief of Tharuel by Raven Garon, All the Best Lives by Joanne Schaffhausen, The Split by Sharon Bolton, Lying About Last Summer by Sue Williams, We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, Shine by Jessica Jung, The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren, both omnibuses of The Chronicles of Ancient Darkness. This is by Michelle Paver, so this is like the whole 6-book series. When I Was 5 I Killed Myself by Howard Buten, Pandora's Gift, Transforming Pandora, and Squaring Circles by Caroline Matthews, The Boy Who Lost Fairy Tales by Catherine M. Valenti, Songs of Earth by Elspeth Cooper, The King's Speech by Mark Lodge and Peter Conradi, Body Wars by Dr. Aaron Sigman, Straight Expectations by Julia Bindel, Oh What a Lovely Pair, a autobiography by Anton Deck, The War Against Boys by Christina Hoth Summers, The Deptford Mice Trilogy by Robert Jarvis, Something Wild and Wonderful by Anita Kelly, Beautiful Darkness by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stall, Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton, The Beast Within by Seren Valentino, Percy Jackson and the Chalice of the Gods by Rick Riordan, Ghosts of the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare and various other authors, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, Room by Emma Donoghue, Marley and Me by John Gorgon, A Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins, Never Never by Colin Hoover and Taran Fisher, Summoner the Outcast, Summoner the Inquisition, and Summoner the Battle Mage, all by Taran Mataru, The Gilded Ones and the Merciless Ones by Namina Fornia, Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard, The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, The Henna Wars by Abida Jayagrinda, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke, Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, Oblivion by Anthony Horowitz, as well as Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo, You've Reached Sam by Dustin Tao, The Thin Executioner by Darren Chan, Jade City by Fonda Lee, The Half-Burnt House by Alex North, The Broken Afternoon by Simon Masson, The Party Crasher by Sophie Kinsella, The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden, Before I Die by Jenny Downham, Heist Society by Ali Carter, Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, Keeping Faith by Jodie Picoult, If I Let Go by Claire McIntosh, Get a Life Chloe Brown and Take a Hint Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, Loathe to Love You by Ali Hazelwood, Iron Widow by Joanne J. Zhao, What Lies Beneath the Veil by Harper L. Woods, An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, The Raven Boys by Maggie Stevata, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, Summoner the Novice by Taran Mataru, He's a Stud, She's a Slut, and 49 Other Double Standards Every Woman Should Know by Jessica Valenti, Everyday Sexism by Laura Bates, I Am Malala, a autobiography, or a memoir, I guess. This Book is Gay by James Dawson, Main Character Energy by Fats Thimbo, Happy Place by Emily Henry, In the Time We Lost Chaos by Carrie Hope Fletcher, The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker, Wolf's Angel by M.D. Lachlan, Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb, Bitter Fawn by Kat Dunn, Arthur and Teddy Are Coming Out by Ryan Love, Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh, Silver in the Bone by Alexandra Bracken, The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence, The Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie, #U2 by Candy Denham, This Is Gonna Hurt by Adam Kay, A Change Is Gonna Come, this is by a bunch of different authors, Caroline Lucas Honourable Friends, this is a memoir autobiography about a political figure, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess, The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami, 7 Days of Us by Jessica Hornack. Did not manage to read this Christmas, so it's going to roll over again for another year. Across the Nightingale Floor by Liam Hearn, The Transgender Issue by Sean Fay, The Good Fairies of New York by Martin Miller, Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell, Shadow of the Wolf by Tim Hall, Bobby Singer's Guide to Hunting, this is by David Reed, Grim Tuesday, Drowned Wednesday, Sir Thursday, and Lady Friday, all by Garth Nix, Legendborn by Tracy Dion, Fire and Blood, A Dance with Dragons Parts 1 and 2, A Feast for Crows, and A Storm of Swords Part 2, all by George R.R. Martin, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson, The 5 Books in the Underland Chronicles by Suzanne Clark, Bad Tuesdays by Benjamin J. Myers, Beta by Adam Roberts, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, For Allegiance and Insurgents by Veronica Roth, The Goddess Chronicles by Natsuo Kirino. Now these 2 books are ones that are technically not from 2023 and before, but I owned copies of them from 2023 and before, and then these special editions came out, so I included them regardless, and that is Furyborn by Claire Legrand and The Toll by Neil Schusterman. I just owned this one for some reason out of the trilogy. I think it's the last one as well. Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. Nietzsche's, I don't even know how to say that, but it's like Nietzsche's story. It's like a translation of, I think, a diary of like a philosopher. How to Stay Sane in the Age of Diversion by Elif Shafrak, Buddha in the Attic by Julie Otsuka, The Origin of Almost Everything, this is a non-fiction sci-fi science book, as well as Nothing, From Absolute Zero to Cosmic Oblivion, Amazing Insights into Nothingness, as well as Why It's Not Green, as well as Is There Life on Mars, The 10 Big Questions of the Universe. I also have Epictetus's, this is Discourses and Selected Writings, as well as The Equality Illusion, this is by Kat Banyard. These are all like non-fictions that I've got, quite a hefty stack. Girl Up by Laura Bates, Girls Will Be Girls by Emma O'Toole. I think that's all of the non-fictions. Then I have Lying to You by Amanda Reynolds, Little Rumours, this is by Brian E. Pierce, The Railway Detective, this is by Edward Marston, Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, Wintersmith, The Colour of Magic, and Unseen Academicals, all by Terry Pratchett, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. More non-fiction actually. Red of My Blood, this is by Clover Stroud, this is a memoir, I believe, or like an autobiography, as well as Wave by Sonyari Dharani Yagala, I believe, this is a memoir. The Adventures of Amina El Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty, Shaman's Crossing, Renegade's Magic, and Forest Mage by Robin Hobb. The Pink Line, The World's Queer Front Lines by Mark Jevisser, I believe. We are almost at the end now. The Ask and the Answer and Monsters of Men by Patrick Ness, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, Paper Towns by John Green, Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly, 1984 by George Orwell. I have a bunch of little TV tie-in books, so I have Blood and Ink from an elementary book, a Grimm one, and then like 4 supernatural ones, which are Carved in Flesh, Night Terror, Lone Key, and Witch's Canyon. Inheritance by Christopher Paolini, again, not this version, but I did have a version. The Kill Order, The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, and The Death Cure by James Dasher, World War Z by Max Brooks, Lord of Slaughter by M.D. Lachlan, Hidden Figures by Margot Lee Shetley, Priestess of the White by Trudy Canavan, and lastly, Uprooted by Naomi Novik. Now, I think that is roughly everything. I do have a list on my Goodreads where I track it, so I can keep a good eye on it. Every time I read one, it will get knocked off that list. This is the first video though, so we're starting with, I think it's currently sitting at 213 books. So that is episode 0. That was what we'll be starting episode 1 with when I eventually start it. There is a little bit of everything mixed in with these books, from non-fiction to like middle grade, YA, adult, to across all different kinds of genres. So there is a nice big mix here to read and to really sink my teeth into. I don't think I'm going to get bored with it. There are also some interesting books in here that I've never heard anyone talk about on the internet, so it'll be quite nice to do like a reading log of reading books I've never seen people speak about, seeing what I think about them, maybe putting them on other people's radars, I think would be quite nice. That is the TBR. This is episode 0. Episode 1 of this like vlog series will hopefully be coming in February. Let me know some recommendations if you have any. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching if you've made it this far and you have no recommendations but want to leave me a little emoji. Leave me a little cat emoji because you might have been able to hear my cats in the background because they decided this was the best time to start playing. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I always appreciate it. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you again hopefully soon. Bye.